Alright, what's up guys? Brand new deck profile today. We are doing Traptrix. There have been a few new Traptrix monsters that have been released. We've got Alomeris. Well, actually one, technically I'm not even playing one of the other ones. But we've got Alomeris, which is very, very good. It's a terrific extender. We've got also Gravedigger's Trap Hole, which is an awesome card. Lets you play around, technically it lets you play around Nibiru, although most of the time you won't get Nibiru'd. But more importantly, any effect that activates in hand, grave, or in the banish pile, basically you can negate it and inflict 2,000 life points, which is incredibly useful. But more importantly than all of those cards are actually a card named Parallel Exceed. This card gives the deck so much more versatility, so much more to do. Again, if you guys want to see a combo video for this, just let me know in the comments. Believe it or not, you can actually do quite a few combos with Traptrix, and I'm actually more surprised about this than anything. There are a lot of 2-card combos in this deck that end you on a pretty darn good board. But anyway, let's get started. We are playing 3 copies of Traptrix Myrmelio. This card basically on summon searches any of the Trap Hole cards, which is very good. By the way, all of the Traptrix cards, the Traptrix monsters, are unaffected by Hole trap cards, so basically, you know, the mirror match is a nightmare. But outside of that, all of them have a second effect. This card's second effect is that if it's special summon, you have a mandatory effect to destroy a spell or trap card your opponent controls. So even if they don't control any, the effect is mandatory, so it always activates anyway, which is actually a positive thing because you can use it during turn 1 with the Traptrix Sarah. Basically, you activate a Traptrix monster's effect, which is very good. Next, we play 3 copies of Dionea. She's certainly one of my favorites. Normal summon, she special summons a Traptrix monster from the graveyard, which is very, very good. And, you know, you get all of their special summon effects, but her special summon effect is that when she special summon, you can set a Trap Hole card from your graveyard to your side of the field, and then if you don't use it, you lose it. It gets banished, so you got to make sure to use it. Then we've got 3 copies of Traptrix Mantis. This card basically is another one. Like, they're all great. We play the really good ones, so I mean, they're going to be good. She searches any Traptrix monster on normal summon, which is cool. But secondly, she has an effect, a quick effect, to basically target one of your set cards, return them to the hand, and then you can set another card. So it lets you switch them out, which actually plays around the Dionea pretty cool, because Dionea will make you lose it if you don't use it, but this lets you add it back to hand, so technically it won't get banished. But outside of that, that's another effect that you can activate turn 1, which feeds into Sarah, which is really, really useful. Next, we've got 1 copy of Traptrix Atrax. I'm actually not playing that new one. I forgot her name off the top of my head. She's the new one from Duel Overload. She's really, honestly, not that great. Like, she sounds great on paper, but she's just like, you just don't want to play that many whole cards where you just will constantly be relooping them. And there's, like, Traptrix Sarah already does enough of that, along with all of these other, I guess, ladies here. So there's really no point to play her, because Dionea does the same thing, Sarah does the same thing. Like, you just don't need to do it. So I just have chosen not to play her. But Atrax is really cool. You can either play Atrax or Nethys. Both of them have sort of their own utility. But what's cool about Atrax is that she basically stops the whole cards from being negated, which is pretty cool. I'm sorry, just normal trap cards in general cannot be negated, which is very useful. And she could just be special summoned, and then that helps you in a lot of grind games against back row decks, because they will try to negate obviously things. And it's also good against Adamanticators, because they'll try to, like, summon a Herald of Arclight and then to negate your stuff as they're building their board, but you can summon an Atrax and then they can't even negate that with the Herald of Arclight, which is really cool, so you can continue to interrupt them. Next, we play for more monsters, 3 copies of Parallel Exceed. This card is absolutely insane. This card and any Traptrix monster is a 1-card OTK. I mean, I guess it's a 2-card OTK. It's a 2-card OTK. This and any Traptrix monster. Again, if you want to see the combos, let me know in the comments. But yeah, this card's really good because you can, when a Link monster is summoned, you can summon this to a zone a Link monster points to, and then also this changes its level to a level 4, and you can special summon another copy of Parallel Exceed from your deck to the field. So basically you have 2 level 4s, and then you can go into any of your rank 4s in the deck that we play, and we play a good amount of them. You can go into the Utopia package, or you can go into any of the Traptrix monsters, because the Traptrix monsters, luckily enough, are actually not nerfed in any way whatsoever. Like, they can, they're basically just any 2 level 4s, which is super cool. But yeah, you can just go into those, and it's really helpful. Next, we play 1 copy of Artifact Scythe. This basically, when summoned off of, you should know this by now, but if you summon it off of Sanctum, you get to stop your opponent from special summoning. And then we've got the Moral Talk, which pops. I like to have the Moral Talk in there because it helps with just interrupting on our opponent's turn. It's really beneficial. We do have a lot of ways to pop monsters, but it's sort of just another one there. Then we play 3 copies of the Pot of Extravagance here. A lot of people have actually cut this, but I don't know. I don't think that the extra deck is actually that important, and we're already playing 3 of everything anyway. Like 3 of all the Traptrix monsters. There's not a lot of, like, I've played this deck a lot, and you don't really go into the extra deck all that much outside of the Traptrix cards. And by the time you go through a Sarah once or twice, you usually have already won, especially if you go first. Like, this deck is already like sick going first. But yeah, I don't think the extra deck is that important, so I'll play it. 1 copy of Double or Nothing, and that basically wraps up the spells, because you don't really want to play spells. You want to play as many good monsters and traps. So from here on in, it's all traps. Play 2 copies of the new trap hole, the Gravedigger trap hole. Like I said before, it negates an effect from your opponent's hand, graveyard, or banish pile, and then it inflicts 2,000 life points, which can be very detrimental to them. Then we play 1 copy of Traptrix Trap Hole, Nightmare, and this card's basically in a lot of ways like Solemn Strike, but it's not a counter trap, and it's searchable. I like it a lot. 1 copy of Bottomless Trap Hole. This, again, one of the classics. And Floodgate Trap Hole, which actually, again, like, these are the trap holes that I like. We play in total 5 basically trap hole cards, and this is why you don't really need to play that new Traptrix monster. We're talking about the one from Duel Overload, because you just don't play that many trap hole cards anyway, so you wouldn't really need to. But that's basically it. And don't forget, these are actually even more sort of searchable, because you have cards like Rafflesia, you have cards like Dionea that let you use them twice, and you have cards like Myrmelio to search them, you have Sarah to search them. Like, you really don't need more than this. You will go through these multiple times, and they're all very, very good and all have their uses. Next, we play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. As you can see, I am missing 2 there. They are at the dry cleaners. I will get those back soon. But 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. We've got 3 copies of Rush Recklessly. This is the Infinite Impermanence is really the only hand trap you play. It's the best hand trap, I think, in the game right now, because it really can't. It can still screw over Adamanticators, because they usually will summon the Kawaki Marrow monster, but you can Infinite Impermanence and it negates monster effects, so it doesn't matter. So I think that helps quite a lot. Rush Recklessly is just more draw power during our opponent's turn. It'll help you win the grind game rather easily, because, like, you will stop them in the first turn, and then you hit them with a Rush Recklessly, and then you have 2 more cards, and this deck can go +3, +2 every single turn during both players' turn. It's almost like once you resolve one of these and you went first, you're like guaranteed to win. Even if then when it comes back to your turn, you just OTK them. We play 2 copies of Traptrix. This basically searches all of our normal traps that we play multiples of. Now let's continue with these normal traps. We play 3 copies of Artifact Sanctum. Again, that searches the Artifact Sanctum. It's very important. Basically, with this, we play 5 copies of Artifact Sanctum, so our opponent cannot special summon during their turn from the extra deck. Then we play 2 copies of Lost Wind, which interrupts special summon monsters. Very important next card. 3 copies of the Phantom Knights of Shade Brigandine. This is basically a trap that enables a lot of combos for you. It's very, very good with Sarah, because you can just special summon it, and during turn 1 you can special summon it, and you can automatically activate Sarah's effect to summon a Traptrix monster. So it's very, very, very good during turn 1. So it's almost a must-have. You can't play the deck without playing this card. If there's any card that you have to play. Then we play 1 copy of Imperial Order. This card is a total blowout card against a ton of decks in the meta. A lot of decks will typically have 1 or 2 really good, powerful spells in their opening hand. And, of course, it does play around the ultimate annoying card, which is the Lightning Storm. So you need to play that. Next, the extra deck, and we're almost done here. We play 3 copies of Traptrix Sarah. This card is, again, one of our main combo enablers. When you activate a trap card, when you activate a normal trap card, you can special summon a Traptrix monster from your deck, and this is only a Link 1. It's one of the best Link 1s in the game. But basically, if you have a Traptrix, if you activate a normal trap, you special summon a Traptrix monster. If a Traptrix monster activates its effect, you can set a trap hole card, which is very, very useful. And if you do this with the right card, like for example, the Murmelio. So let's say you activate a normal trap, you get to special summon Murmelio. Murmelio has a mandatory effect to destroy an opponent's spawn trap card. Has to activate. That activates, and you get to set a trap hole card, so like Floodgate Trap Hole. So it's like a 1 card plus 2. It's really, really, really good. So that's Traptrix Era. Then we play 3 copies of Traptrix Rafflesia. This protects all of them from getting destroyed by battle, can't be targeted. We're talking about the Traptrix monsters. Also, it lets you send a trap hole type card from your deck to the graveyard, and then you can apply its effect as if it's this card's effect, which is also very, very useful. Next, we play 3 copies of the new one, Traptrix Alomaris. I only have 2, but you have to play 3 if you're going to play the Pot of Desires. The Pot of Extravagance. If you're not going to play the Pot of Extravagance, then you can get away with 1 or 2. But basically, this card is, again, a very generic rank 4. But basically, it allows you to detach 2 and then special summon a plant or insect, and that is any plant or insect in the game from your graveyard. And then its second effect is if a opponent's monster basically leaves the field because of a trap effect, because of your trap hole effect, you can special summon that monster from their graveyard, which is, again, very useful. But typically you'll go for the first effect because it's just a really good extender. And then for the Utopia package, we play 3 copies of Utopia 39. Again, I can't find, I have like probably 10 of these. I don't know where the rest are, but you play 3 copies of Utopia Double. This will help you OTK, and of course we play 3 copies of the regular Utopia. Again, this will help us OTK. You play it with the whole double or nothing, but we have to play 3 of each. We have to make sure we don't banish them off a Pot of Extravagance. It's okay if you banish 1 or 2, but we don't want to banish all 3. But yeah, that's basically it. If you guys want to see a combo video, please let me know. This deck actually does have a ton of combos. But yeah, thank you for watching, and enjoy your day, guys.